Welcome, everyone. We are back again with Donovan Sharpe here, and today we're going to be talking about Tradcons and all that fun stuff,
Yes.
and and if they are a real thing or some weird fetish that's popular now.
Well, let me ask you this. Well, first of all, Kat, thanks for having me back. I was not sure that I would be asked back after the shenanigans last week, but hopefully everything is good to go. Oh, if you would mod Devin in the chat, if you would.
Oh, she should be already.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't see a wrench by her name. Well, you know what? Dr. B84 is modded, so that's all good. Yeah. So what's been happening lately, Kat, is Devin's ex-husband is he has been trolling me in the chat. Anytime now, he knows he can't come on my channel because of course I've got him banned. So when I make appearances on other podcasts like yours, he just gets in here and he just, trolls and all that good stuff. So just to keep you away from that riffraff, I figured it's best.
It's fine. Don't worry about him.
Yeah, you know how that goes. Okay, so what do you know at this point about Tradcons?
Let's see. Okay, I heard. I don't know if this is true.
Let me stop you right there. Dr. B84, this guy is already in here. Brian Ashlock. There he is. Here he goes. Oh, so you're actually just going to use your real name here, huh? All right. Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, somebody get rid of Brian Ashlock. Brian, I don't need to threaten you, bro. Like, you're not long for this world, man. You're not going to be with us anymore. Anyway, sorry to bring your drama. Sorry to bring my drama into your chat. But yes, so what do you know about, I told you he'd be in here. So what do you know about Tradcons?
Yeah. I heard, I don't know if this is true, that it was one of those corn fetishes, one of those genres.
Oh, okay. Well, to be quite honest with you, traditional like Tradcons are, and it's weird because there's like, and I don't know if there's like male Tradcons, because the only Tradcons that I'm really aware of are girls like Lauren Southern. There's also Tommy Lauren, and then there is then of course there's Lauren Chen, who Pearl Davis crossed swords with a while back. Mm-hmm. And what Pearl ended up exposing about Tradcons is that Tradcon women are not really traditionally conservative. For example, you and we had a conversation last week. I asked you, I said, okay, does your husband have access to your phone? You said yes. Tradcon wives would push back on that. So my stance is that Tradcon wives are, how can I put this? They're low-key feminists is what they are. That's what I have learned about them thus far.
I just don't think that young women can be anything but feminists unless they really have good parenting or take the time to learn something different to recognize that, because that's just the programming.
Yes, of course. And I think what Trad wives really try to do, for better or worse, I think they want to take everything from the traditionally conservative side, but also mix it in with the feminist side, right? It's like they want the best of both worlds. They're like feminists. They only like to claim traditionalism when it suits them. Whereas unfortunately, or fortunately, someone like you really are conservative and submissive to your husband through and through. Tradcon wives are not like that.
I don't consider myself a Tradcon.
Oh, okay. You do not.
I'm just like a normal person.
Okay.
I don't have no labels.
You don't have no labels. So how can I put this?
I'm just not a feminist.
Okay.
But I don't think I'm like a traditional conservative, because like what? Do I have to dress like an Amish person? Like that's a gray area, because people have like all these ideas of what that is. You have to dress like this, you have to act like this, and I'm still like a modern person.
Gotcha. Well, it's very, very difficult for women to be it's very difficult for these days. Like, so let me ask you this. What do you think when you hear the word submissive? What does that mean to you?
I think it has a bad connotation. It like people just want to be like, oh, that means you have no say. It means nobody cares about your opinion. You don't matter to them. You don't have like any agency in your whole life. You're just, I think that's what people think it means.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Well, I will say this. I think a lot of times women have a very, very difficult time. Usually, it's funny when feminists talk about the word submit. It's not even feminists, just women in general. Most women, and we talked about this last week, most women don't consider themselves to be feminists, but they still have feminist values and beliefs, right? So, for example, you ask a girl, are you feminist? She'll say, no. Okay. Does your boyfriend or husband have access to your phone? And then they clutch their pearls, right? Like that's generally how that goes. The point is that it's very, even women who are raised traditionally conservative, even those women have a hard time really wrapping their minds around the idea of submissiveness, because they think being submissive is just a woman who is on her knees. She's got the black eye. She's, walking to her husband with the cold soup and knocks it out of her hand because it wasn't hot enough. Right. I think women purposefully mischaracterize that, because today's women, modern women, whether they're conservative or liberal, they do not like to admit that they do things for the explicit pleasure and satisfaction of their husbands. God forbid they do something or allow something because my husband wants it or my husband needs it. What are your thoughts on women just not admitting that, hey, I'm doing this for my husband because he likes it?
It's just disingenuous, because obviously if you like your husband, you are going to be doing things for him. That's just implicitly going to happen. And anyone who's like, I wouldn't do that, like, I think that there's something wrong with them. Like there's some programming, there's some damage going on where they believe that like they can't do those things unless they're like some sort of like, I don't know, abused person.
Sure. Yeah, they assume that and it's funny because, people talk to me about Dev all the time. Blink twice if you need help or whatever the case may be. And I think these women are envious. I think that deep down they, people, of course, they talk shit. Your haters are your biggest fans. But people, especially women, they really, really, because I know that you're probably attacked online for the choices that you've made. You guys have decided, hey, okay, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I want to be a stay-at-home wife. And, what's the reception been like that for you? And how do you handle it?
Oh, it's nothing but, oh, he's going to cheat on you. Oh, he's not going to respect you. Oh, he's going to leave you. Oh, you're going to be homeless. Your kids aren't, going to be on the streets with you. It's just, even like my own mother would say things like this,
right? Which
is wild.
Oh, wow. Your own mother. So talk to me about your relationship with your mother. Is your mother as traditional as you are, or is it kind of a mix?
Look, it didn't work out for her.
Oh, okay.
So I cannot blame her for that. But I do think like, just because like, let's say you went broke, that doesn't mean that somebody else who has money is going to go broke. And that doesn't mean you should put your trauma on them. It happened to me. Oh my God. And that's what a lot of these women do. They're just trauma dumping on women who are happy.
Right. Oh, yes. I also think the reason why I guess you call it trauma dumping, that I've never heard that concept before, but I think they also do that disingenuously, because this is a question I always ask women. How many times, Kat, have you been dumped?
3.
Exactly. How many relationships have you had?
Like 4 or 5.
So you happen to be the exception to the rule, right?
Why?
Well, because the reason why I say this is that most women end most relationships, whether it's marriages, situationships, whatever the case may be, it is almost always the woman who ends the relationship. Women file for divorce. I think 85% of the time. Women break up with men 99.9% of the time. And so when women say things like, well, I'm not going to be submissive to my man because what if I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home wife, because what if he leaves me? Well, no, that's disingenuous, because women leave most. If anybody, honestly, if anybody would have those concerns, it would be you, right? You've been in 4 or 5 relationships, and your boyfriend has ended the relationship 60 to 80% of the time. That's literally the inverse. Whereas with most women, they leave most relationships, but they're the ones that bitch and moan. Well, what if my husband leaves me? I'm sorry, how many times have you been dumped? They don't know, right? It's either one or none. And so when women voice concerns about the reason why they don't do things, the reasons they give are bullshit. The reasons they give are bullshit because, again, they just want an excuse to be a hoe. They want an excuse to continue to, farm out their options. They love male attention, and male attention is something that is very addictive and something that's very, very difficult for women to give up. Imagine giving up the attention from thousands of men to really only really seek out the attention from one man, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Jose in the chat asks, he wants to know, who is this young lady? So Kat, listen, obviously we're simul broadcasting. Just give my audience sort of a Reader's Digest version on who you are and what you do.
I am just a stay-at-home mom, okay. Regular person. I do like health podcasts and stuff like that. That's about it.
And something else we learned about Kat today is that Kat is 5 feet tall. Mm-hmm. So she's very, 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 very short. You wouldn't tell me how much you weighed, though.
I'm working on it.
She's working on it. Okay.
It's not that bad.
Like 180, 190?
No, like 120. But remember, 5 feet, 120 is not.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Glenn Lawrence is in the house. He says there are no traditional women anymore, and they view submission, and the way they view submission is actually the man's responsibility, because the man is supposed to be a servant leader and serve them. You could think the evangelicals. Now, a lot of Tradcon women's come from the evangelical side. Mm. And this is something that we didn't get into last week, which is why I wanted to talk about this week. Are you and your husband religious? Do you guys follow a religion? Like, what's your denomination or whatever?
He's the preacher's son, so he was like a whore.
Oh,
wow. You know how that goes.
Oh, wow. So he well, wait a minute. Did he get paid to have sex with all these women?
No. But you know, like how it goes, like they do a 180.
Yes.
So they're raised religious, and then they grow up and they're like, argh.
Right. Men and women. Well, again, your husband's exception to the rule, because men don't really get laid like that. But we all know the reputation preachers' daughters have. Preachers' daughters are epic hoes. So are you guys still religious, or is that just not something that you guys practice anymore?
He is not, but like I am, but like it's not like something we really crazy about.
Right. And it wasn't a deal. And obviously you're not the type of woman that's gonna be like, well, if he doesn't follow my religion, then I'm done.
No.
So why not? Why is that? Why is it? Because listen, religion is a big sticking point with couples. It clearly, your husband is not religious and you are. So why hasn't that caused a rift in your marriage?
Because the basic principles of marriage he keeps to. Like, he believes in that. Okay. So just because he's not like fanatical about it, just because he doesn't go to church or like pray all the time, he still believes in those principles. So it's enough that I feel like we're on the same page about what's important. Okay,
very good. Glenn Lawrence says, don't let her lie to you. She's a killer. She's an assassin. Yeah, I was thinking that you're like a low-key savage. Like, how do you respond to all of the women who hate on you because of the choices that you've made? Because we know Allie. We're both good friends with Allie, Alyssa Drummond. Mm-hmm. That bitch is a fucking savage.
She's way more than I am. I can't compete.
Are you sure?
I can't. No.
Oh, you're not? Oh, wow. So you really don't have it in you.
She's more like, I can't do that. I'm trying. I'm working my way up.
Working your way up. Somebody in the chat wants to know, they said, tell the story about how you and Steve met and got engaged. How did you guys? Oh boy, you didn't meet him at a. Well, hold on. Does the story involve a strip club?
No.
Okay, does it
We
involve
met on like the internet, like Friendster or something. I said
okay. Yeah,
hi.
Evan and I, we
He's
met
like,
on the internet. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. So we
Okay,
went
good.
out, whatever. That's not what he wanted me to talk about. He wanted me to say how like all manipulation techniques that I use to get him to marry me.
Oh, well, do tell. And they're not manipulation techniques. You know what what we call that? We call that girl game.
Exactly. Girl
So
game.
so give all 2.5 women watching this right now. Give them some girl game. How did you manage? How
But-
did you manage to rope in this doctor and get him to take care of you for life? Because this is going to be valuable information.
I mean, for only women.
There you go.
I don't want to tell the guys and then they're gonna be like looking out for it. No,
Well,
if a girl does this, she loves you. Let her.
Again, if the girl does this, she loves you. Like, she's cooking for me. Better watch out. No, like this should be public information. So please tell us how you rope this guy in. Tell us how you snagged him.
Well, everybody knows. I don't know if everybody knows. Obviously, it takes about 90 days for a guy to fall in love. But if he has sex,
I did not know that.
Yeah, if he has sex first, it cannot happen, or it's less likely to happen.
Whoa, time out. I have never heard this before. So you're telling me that it takes 90 days for a man to fall in love, okay? But if he has sex with you right out the gate or before 90 days, it's impossible or it's prolonged?
It's harder to happen.
How about that? I have never heard of, nor have I considered that. Please continue.
Yeah, so knowing this, I'm not going to sleep with somebody immediately. So I'm just like, look, while we're getting to know each other during this 90 days, you go do what you're going to do, right?
Okay.
We're just getting to know each other.
Okay, all right.
So he still can do whatever he wants. I don't care. It's none of my business.
Well, wait a minute. Remember, last week you told me the story about how he had his ex-girlfriend over at us at 2:00 in the morning.
That's after we,
Was this after the 90 days?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, please continue.
Yeah. So then, then the time passes, whatever. And then, whatever. Now I know he's falling in love with me. I see the little things he's doing that he actually cares about me. Yeah. I'm not just like another possible notch everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like things like I said, I was lactose intolerant. He got me lactose, whatever, those pills and put them whenever we go to dinner. And I'm just like, okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So all you did was not sleep with him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how did you handle him going out and sleeping with other girls? Because
I didn't ask. I don't care.
Okay. Because that's the question that a lot of girls say. They're like, Donovan, they're like, hey, look, okay, I'm not going to sleep with him, but what if he's sleeping with other girls? So let me ask you, Kat.
That's not my business.
That's not your business. Okay. Very good. So ladies, one more time, don't sleep with him for 90 days. If he's sleeping with other girls, that's not your business. And if he decides to stay with that girl he's sleeping with, guess what, ladies? He didn't like you as much as you thought he did in the first place. And there you go. And so this is where a lot of women go wrong is, unfortunately, they succumb, they sleep with the guy, and he ends up leaving her anyway for the girl that didn't sleep with him for 90 days. And now you've got more miles on your lady parts. Okay, so you didn't sleep with him for 90 days. What were some other techniques? What were some other things that you did to sort of keep him interested and in your orbit?
Well, I mean, I was just super chill.
Okay.
I tried to make life easy, make it fun.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't come with problems, but I did try to desensitize him to problems because you know how girls go, we need to talk. And then guys, red flags go all the way up. So I desensitized him to that by going, look, we need to talk later.
Okay.
And then he's panicking.
Oh, wow. You desensitized him to that. Oh, boy.
And then I said something cute, like, I'm going to need you to bang me more or, something funny. Sure.
Just
something cute.
Right. Something cute. Got
that
it.
He's panicking and then it's relief.
Okay. Yes.
Through the roller coaster.
Okay. All right. Glenn says, Donovan, ask her about the time she almost tried to kill her neighbor. What's that about?
That is not how I met my husband. That's a recent thing.
Oh, okay. So you didn't try to kill your neighbor back then.
No.
You tried to kill your neighbor recently. Yeah. I need to know that story.
Okay.
This is great. Dude, this is so funny because I know that people don't typically ask you these kinds of questions, but I'm not afraid. I need to know. I need to know.
Okay, so we're back still on how I met him, right? The
Yes.
girl game. Okay.
Yes. Let's go to the girl game.
The next girl game thing I did, and there's a lot of things, so I'm just picking like the big ones.
No, I'm with you.
I pretend like when I knew he was like definitely in love with me, I'm not stupid. I was like, look, I think I might have to move with my mom who lives in another state because, things are bad at home with my dad. I don't know,
God,
like whatever. And of course, I say this exactly when his lease is over and his roommate's going to get another apartment. So he's going to be looking for a roommate. He's going to be in that situation.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, I'm going to have to leave. And then like, I'm really sad. I'm like, but it was so nice getting to know you. And I wish we had more time, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You totally bamboozled this dude.
Yes. Hung up on him.
Oh, you hung up on him. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Hung up on him. I sat there looking at my watch like,
oh my God. Do you guys see this? Do you guys see this? Do you guys see the level of confidence she had? She looked at her watch because she knew he was going to call. Wow.
Yeah. And then he calls. He's like, I know this is like crazy and like it's too soon and doesn't make any sense. But, I think like we could really be something. I think this could go somewhere. Like, why don't we just consider like moving in with each other and blah, 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 and all this stuff. Like, I know it's like weird and stuff like that, but I love you. And I think like we could be good together. And I'm like, okay, just let me think about it.
Oh,
right.
Oh my God. You had this dude sweating bullets, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So I waited like a couple hours. I'm sure he's like, like that. And then I call him. I'm like, you know what?
I hope she chooses. I hope she picks me, right?
Yeah. And then I call him back. I'm like, look, I really want to get married. Oh, and I don't like. Let me finish.
Oh my God.
Yeah. All and right. Like my dad's really against me living with somebody when I'm not married. Wow. I just don't feel comfortable with that. Like, but if we did it, we would have to be married before the lease is up.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And how old was he at this point?
I don't know.
Oh,
maybe like 30. I don't know.
Okay. Because you guys are about the same age, right?
He's older a little bit, not that much.
All right. Okay. So he was So you're in your 20s. He's 30. Okay. By the way, marriage causes divorce in the chat says girl game equals just be pretty. Hold on. Let me find
it's not that easy.
No, bro. No, marriage causes divorce. See, this is why I can't stand dudes like this. Girl game equals just be pretty. No, you idiot. If you want to get dick, just be pretty, right? Girl, see, here's the thing, marriage. I'm going to call you MCD. MCD. Girl game, there's no such thing. If a man has game, he gets pussy. If a girl has game, she gets rings. Okay. Any bitch can walk out the door and get laid. Listen, dick game, just be pretty. Yes. All you have to be is pretty and you can get laid. A lot of pretty girls don't have rings on their fingers. So you can miss me with that girl game, just be pretty. That is that MGTOW black pill. That's that MGTOW black pill mindset. So in MCD, I know you're a longtime supporter. I would definitely get out of that mindset. Omar said, she a pick me. Yeah, Omar. And guess what? Pick me's get picked. So there you go. I swear to God, it's always niggas. It's always niggas in the degenerate black ass community. Oh, she a pick me. Yeah, this is why you're bitches. You're black women. This is why better than 3 out of 4 of you will never be fucking. Oh, she a pick me. Yep. Pick me's get picked. Keishas get pumped and dumped by Tradcon and Sharpe, by Tradcon and Walmart Tavy. So miss me with that, Omar. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Anyway, so what did he respond? How did he respond to, you're like, hey, look, man, we need to be married before the lease is up. Like, you really put the pressure on this dude. How did he respond?
Yeah. And I mean, I've lost dudes like this before. You're like, how did she get dumped? This is how you get dumped. So you got to be willing to lose.
Listen to what she just said. And how long have you been married, Kat? Because this is important. And I'm being dead serious.
A long time.
You've been married for 20-something years, right?
Like 20.
What did she say? What did she just say? You have to be willing to lose this guy to stand on your principles. This is why this woman's been married for 20 years. The opposite is true or the same is true for guys on the other end. You got to be willing to lose the girl. Kat said, listen, I'm not doing this without marriage, right? She was willing, and she did this 2 or 3 times. She went 1 for 3. The last time she did it, it worked. It's the same with you guys. You got to be willing to lose the girl. This is why I tell you guys, look, I don't commit to girls who go out to bars. I don't commit to girls who go to clubs. I don't commit to girls who are on social media. Oh my God, I'm leaving. Oh well. Oh well. This is why I ended up with the woman that I ended up with, because like Kat, I was willing to get dumped to stand on my principles, my standards, boundaries, and expectations. This is exactly what you have to do as a man. Kat was willing to get dumped to hold out for the marriage. It was either marriage or nothing. That's the way you guys have to be with women. It's either my way or the fucking highway. And you got to mean that shit. Please continue.
Okay, so he did take some time to think about it, but then when he did, he was sure we were good to go. And then I met his mom.
Oh, and then you met his mom. Okay.
Yeah. And, his mom is religious. So the first thing she wanted to make sure I wasn't Muslim, because I guess that's like really against what she wants.
Had to make sure that you weren't Muslim?
Yeah. I mean, that's
what
just their
happened
thing.
If you were? Like, would that
would probably be a deal breaker for them, because they're super Christian.
Let me let you in on a little secret.
Okay.
Any man who allows his mother or his family to dictate his decisions, that's not a man. Okay. This man loved you. And yeah, okay. So his mom and dad could have put up a fight if you happened to be Muslim. Guess what? Steve would have married you anyway, Kat.
Oh, I'm sure. But it's nice when it's easier.
It's nice when it's easier, but guess what? Would you rather have it harder, or would you rather have it not happen at all? Because think about this. What if he came to you and said, oh, Kat, I asked my mom, and well, she says I can't get married. It's almost like a little kid. No. Like, can Steve come out to play? Yeah, let me go ask. My mom said I can't play tonight, maybe tomorrow. That's not a man. No. A man stands up to his parents when and if it's necessary. That dude would have married you regardless.
Let's hope.
I think he would have.
He would have.
Okay.
Right. So anyways, but thankfully she liked me.
Okay.
She pulled me aside. She's like, do you want to get married? I'm like, yes. Do you want to marry my son? Yes. He has to ask me. And she's like, you're sure? I'm like, yes. She's like, I will handle it.
Okay, very good. Believe in yourself says, so you quote slid into his DMs. What the fuck does that mean? Believe in yourself? What, like seriously, do you listen, you have a successful marriage, and even people in my chat are trying to invalidate or disqualify your success. She's a pick-me. She slid into his DMs. So it's funny what they're trying to do, Kat. They're trying to say that you swindled this guy into marrying you using hoe behavior. I'm sorry, guys. Men who are looking for actually traditional wives, they don't respond well to hoe behavior and hoe tactics. That's just how it is. There's no way this dude is going to marry someone who, quote, slid into his DMs. God, jeez, get the fuck out of here. Let me read some super chats before you continue your story. Phoenix Light Games with the $20 super chat says, misery loves company. Women can't stand each other. Women can't stand other women being fulfilled in relationships with men unless they're in that position as well. Pitiful envy. They want what you have. They know they'll never get it because of the choices they've made. This is why you catch heat a lot of times, Kat. Dr. B84 with the $5 super chat says, what is her husband's specialty? Interestingly enough, Dr. B84, Kat's husband is a doctor. Shout out to him. Glenn Lawrence, member for 4 months, says she was doing all of the emotional spiking. Yes, you absolutely. Listen, that is some fucking girl game. Like, I ain't never heard no shit like that. Dr. B84 with another $10 super chat says her girl game is on another level and not seen too often these days. Real talk. Phoenix Light Games, a $10 super chat says respect to Kat. Most women are terrified of rejection. I understand that, but this is why. Men are happy and respect it when women initiate the relationship because it doesn't happen often. Kudos to you. So there we go. My guys understand what's really going on. So her mom likes you. What about his mom liked you? What about her dad? His dad.
Oh, he liked me immediately, but he likes everybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, men. Listen, honestly, if I had a son, as long as 15 years ago, as long as she is pretty, I'm like, hey, go on, son. But me, like I'm the hoe detector. Like I can. Nope, she's a hoe, son. She's got to go. She's got to go. You guys, yeah, you can handle that. Okay, so talk to me about how can I put this? Talk to me about how did you guys establish your relationship? Did you guys make a conscious decision to be traditional? Because you two clearly are, I mean, you guys have the life. You guys are living the American dream. He's a doctor. You're a stay-at-home wife. You're still attractive. You've got kids. I assume they're out of the house, at least close to being I suppose, being, traditional in that way. Was there a conversation, or did you guys just fall into it?
His mom is a stay-at-home mom. His sisters are stay-at-home moms.
Yeah.
He's just kind of expected that. But I mean, I was working at the time.
Okay.
But I had to quit my job. It was very terrible. I think I told you about like how like the boss, when it turned female and went crazy.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
no,
you
got to tell me that story.
So I had a, gay male boss, no problem, smooth sailing for years.
Of course.
And then they switched it with like some female boss. She immediately had it out for me, hated me, would threaten me, would call me screaming all the time. And I put it on speaker one time and I'm like crying because she's stressing me out. I put it on speaker. He hears it and he's like, no, you can't work there anymore.
Wow. Okay. So, I mean, you can't work there anymore. What happened? You just left? You just quit?
I didn't even quit. I just didn't go back.
You just didn't go back. Okay. All right. Very good. Excellent. That is a very, very good. Another knucklehead, another dimwit said, hold on. This is funny. So the crown prince says she sold her soul for a ring. I would say that's a pretty worthwhile. That is a worthwhile thing to do. Sold her soul for a ring. Now, Devin in the chat. Hang on one second. So Devin says, sold her soul for love and a family. What the heck are you guys talking about? She doesn't care about the ring. She wants the security and life and to build. That takes courage. So Devin is definitely on your side. Please continue. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Sold her soul for a ring? Like,
it's ridiculous. You're going to sell your soul to your boss, to your industry that could go away any day. I mean, just stop.
There you go. Oh, dude, did you hear what she just said? Women sell their souls for far less. May as well sell it for a ring. Okay, please continue.
Yeah. So, pretty much, his mom like offered to like give him some money to like have the wedding and everything. And he was like, okay, I guess we're doing it now. So pretty much 3 months after we moved in together, we were legally married and then planning the wedding.
Wow. Fucking hell. So you did it. You actually did it. So how long did you guys know each other before you got married? Was it 6 months?
I met him first and then we didn't talk for a few months because he had some stupid trigonometry class that he was too stressed out to date during. So if you don't count that, maybe about 6 to 8 months.
Very good. So it does not take long. Very good. God, good for you, man. Good for you. Alaskan K says, why are dudes upset? There's a woman that did everything she could to get her husband. She wasn't playing him like a John. She wants the life with the good man. Absolutely. When did you know that you wanted to marry Steve?
Maybe like a month.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what about him? And I know that I know a lot of this is like tangible versus intangible. What traits, what qualities did you see in Steve that caused you to fall in love with him so quickly? 1 month, Kat. That's not long at all, but clearly you had the inclination. Clearly you made the right choice. Here you are 20 something years later.
Yeah. I mean, there was other guys that wanted to marry me, but I was very I didn't know if I wanted to date them. I didn't know if like they were it for me. And that feeling alone was enough to be like, there's something not right with that. Okay. Just because someone looks like they have everything going for them doesn't always necessarily mean they will. Like there was one that was incredibly wealthy, but I felt like he was not a loyal type of person.
Okay.
I felt like he's the type of person that will like throw, not just cheap, but like leave every couple years for another wife.
Oh, wow. Oh, god damn. And what gave you that impression that he would do that? Was he tall and good looking? Is that what it was?
No, he just seemed very incredibly narcissistic.
Okay.
And everything was about you look good, not like you're a good person at all. Like didn't care about that.
Oh, wow. Suffice it to say, you made the right decision.
Yeah. And things didn't go well for him. So.
Oh, well, okay. All right. They pay the price. Ghost 1978 says Kat is a good woman. BMSL says she got the best guy she could, and now she's sitting back enjoying the fruits. Dr. B84 with the $5 super chat says being a doctor is very, very broad. Does he do primary care or surgery, for example? What is he? You don't have to give away too much proprietary information, but what field? I mean, is he a podiatrist? Is he?
No, he's just like functional medicine.
Oh, just general. He's just a general practitioner. Okay. All right. Well, very good. All right. So a general practitioner doctor. Okay. Very good. Excellent. Ken Rose with the $5 super chat. By the way, Kat, Ken Rose, he donates on all platforms. And so even if he donates $1, I still give him a Don DeMarco. Sorry about that. The Crown Prince says, you guys are a little too high strung. Oh boy, he must be new here. Yeah. You should have been here last week. You absolutely should have been here last week. The Crown Prince says, I disagree. I don't know what you're disagreeing with. Let's go back because I kind of skipped it. What were the traits, please, if you can remind me, what were the traits about Steve that made you fall? Because 1 month, Kat, like even, and I can't, I mean, I can honestly see, falling in love in a month. Like you get with someone in a month, if the sparks are flying, I could potentially see that happening in the right setting. What about Steve made you fall so quickly?
It was, how do I say this? It was very like comfortable. There was no highs and lows. There was no like you have to, like some guys will like, let's go here. Let me buy you all these things. Let me create like situations where like adrenaline is high so that you think you're falling in love with me. Like we were just hanging out. We're just normal. And we still enjoyed each other's company. And then I would like to say he was, how did I say this? I told him this the other day that he was, he had confidence in himself more than he should at that time. Like he had nothing to show for it, but he was just very confident in that he would be successful in his future.
And clearly you did too. Because again, the reason he didn't date you at first is like, look, dude, I'm putting my purpose before dating. Got to pass this trigonometry test so I can be a doctor, get into pre-med, whatever the case may be. That's attractive. Was that attractive to you, or were you just like, okay, I'm just gonna, okay.
Yeah, he would never chase women. They would chase him.
Okay, there you go. And
he was never like looking around. He was focused on that, and they would like force themselves on him.
Oh, wow. Did they rape this guy? Like, does he have trauma from that, or like what's going on with that cat?
I mean, we joke around, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, do we need like therapy for this dude? Like, I mean, I don't know what that was going on.
He's resilient. He's fine.
Okay, all right, just making sure. 305 Rider, aka Miami J, says yes. Sign up for the TSR Fantasy League, guys. Email Miami J, mia.305.j@gmail.com. I know that's a mouthful, so you have to screen grab it. Make sure you put in the comments in the subject line TSR Fantasy League in all caps. Let's see. There was a question. Wait a minute. Did somebody mention ICQ? Do you remember IC? I know you remember ICQ, Kat.
What's that?
ICQ it was a messaging app.
Oh yeah, like AIM.
Back like in the there you go. Like back in the 90s. I remember in 98. Marriage causes divorce. 20 years marriage is impressive in this day and age. So, like, Kat, let me ask you this. Was it hard not to sleep with him? Did you, I mean, you're a woman, you have needs.
I'm not.
Of course.
Insane.
So how did he ever try? And if he did, how did you resist?
Well, you don't go any place where you're alone.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Very good. Very good. Because you knew that if you were alone, you would probably succumb to his. Okay. Very good. Excellent.
He's very cute.
Very good. AE says she has heavy filters on her face. What?
And
oh, do you really?
No, I don't. But like I have lighting.
Yeah, like you guys, do you see? These are people. This is incredible. People in mine and your chat. We're supposed to all be RP red pill aware, yet we still got people in here still talking shit. Unbelievable. No, Kat does not have filter, or do you?
No, this is a light. This is makeup. I wear makeup. I'm female.
There you go.
Use what we can.
And you don't cake it on, obviously. You want to know what? You should actually take that as a compliment. You should take that as a compliment. If somebody says you've got heavy filters on your face, be like, thank you. I'm glad you think so. Beaten Cheek says, LMAO, really? ICQ? Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, man. ICQ is old school. Daryl Bradley in the chat says, I have 2 grown daughters. They need to learn from Kat. Very good. There's really a dude named Beaten. Beaten Cheeks. That's actually somebody's name. Alaska K says, remember, TSR Academy is done after Sunday. Absolutely. Oh my God. Glenn says, Steve loves when Kat grapes him. Don't let her tell you how she almost killed her neighbor. Okay, Kat, I got to know that story. Why did you almost 187 your neighbor? I need details.
Okay. It was like a parking dispute. We were getting our roof redone, and I parked in like the side of his house.
Oh no.
He didn't like that.
Oh boy.
Even though it's
boy.
public.
And what did he do to let you know that he didn't like that?
He put stickers all over my car, and then he drove by and started yelling at me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where was Steve when this was happening?
At work.
Oh, this motherfucker. You want to know why that slick motherfucker. He did that shit on purpose because he knew that if Steve were home, he would not have done that. So what happened after that?
So I'm upset.
Of course.
I tell him to go F off.
And
then I go home. I call my husband. I tell him what happened. I'm like, this asshole. I'm just like blowing off steam.
So what did he do?
So
your husband do?
I left again. I had to go somewhere. And then my husband came home and then the neighbor came to talk to him, and they got into like a fight. And remember, we're doing a roof, like yelling at this point. So they're yelling at each other. There's debris from the roof with like shingles, 2x4s with nails like this long sticking up like that, like all over them. And the neighbor tried to throw him on top of that, which could have killed him.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So your neighbor tried to throw your husband onto one of these. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm not religious, Kat, but I have been praying. I've been praying for someone to try some shit like that with me. Like, this is like a fantasy for me. Like, honestly, it would be a fantasy for Devin to come up and be like, I parked and some guy put stickers on my car and he's yelling at me. I'll be like, is he now? Well, let's go out there and handle this. So what happened after he tried to throw your husband onto these 2x4s?
Well, I came home. He told me what happened. And I got into like a blind rage. And next thing you know, I'm running across the street. I'm banging on the door. I'm yelling at him to come out and face me.
Oh, Kat. Oh boy. Oh boy. Did you have a weapon? Did you have like a
I was just gonna go he was an old man. I feel like I could have taken him.
I don't know. There's such a thing as old man strength. I mean, listen, you were in a blind rage and he did try to kill your husband, and your husband lived to tell the tale. So this guy can't be that much of a weakling.
Exactly. So he did not come out of the house, thankfully, for him.
Yeah. Of course. Yes, of course.
And my husband dragged me out, and then I kept going back.
Oh, that's awesome. He kept having to drag you. Oh my God. I knew you had some dog in you, Kat. I knew you did. So what was the end of the story? Is that it?
No, the neighbor that we like came out and calmed me down. And then his wife was like, no, I saw it. Go get him. And she was all hyping me up.
Isn't it funny how women are so quick to turn to violence when they know that nothing can really happen, right?
I was ready to die.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yo, guys, this just in. Kat Khatibi, she's a real one. This bitch just said she was ready to die. Like, yo, this is like, guys, this is the kind of bitch you want in your motherfucking life. You disrespect my husband, I'm ready to motherfucking die. Dude, that's the most gangster shit I've ever heard. So did your husband survive the attack? Am I wrong?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay, all right. What were your husband's thoughts on this? Like, because a man attacked him. What did your husband say that he did? I don't know. If it was an old, how old was this guy?
I don't know, maybe like 65.
Did he look elderly?
Yeah, but he's really tall. Like he's like 6'5".
Yeah,
but like a big guy. Like you could tell he works out, but he still has like cortisol gut.
Oh, well then, then I would have fucked him all the way up. Okay, I thought you were talking about some old man with his walker. You get out my property. No. So this was yeah. So did your husband express any desire to, like, did your husband do anything to him, or was he just in defense mode?
No, he did martial arts so he could defend himself, and he does not like to escalate things, whatever.
You got the right guy. Man, because see, this is why Devin is special, because it really does. It takes a special kind of crazy to be with someone like me, because I can assure you, had I been your husband in that situation, the cops most definitely, there would have been 2 phone calls made. There would have been one to call the cops, and then there would have been one to call the ambulance. One of us was going to the ER, the other one was going to jail. Like, that's the way that goes. That's nothing to be proud of, but it's good that your husband had the wherewithal to understand what the situation was. And it's good that you were the one that went over and banged on his door. He didn't want to come out and make you look silly, so he did the right thing. Your husband did the right thing. He did the right thing. He did. So your neighbor that you liked is like, hey, it's all good. Let me hold you back. The wife was like, no, go over there and fuck him up. What happened after that?
He calmed me down, and then I went back in there into the house, but my husband was very happy.
Of course he was. You were ready to fucking die. God damn it. That's the most gangster shit I think I've ever heard. Unbelievable. You're like, nope, I was ready to die. And you said it just so nonchalant. It's like, oh no, I was ready to die. Dr. B84 with the $5 super chat says, nah, Kat just brought out her strap and finished the job. Next question. That's what I'm saying. Like, Kat, dude, like, seriously. Now, I don't know what state you live in. Do you live in an
Florida?
Oh my God. So you could have, like, you really could have lit this, but that's not worth it. You know what I mean?
He came on my properties. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I mean, yeah, I think you and I think Steve probably has more in common with Devin temperament wise, and I have more in common with you temperament wise. Because in case you haven't noticed, I'm a pretty high octane, hot blooded kind of individual. And the only reason why I haven't gotten into 2 reasons why I haven't gotten into an incident lately. Number 1, I'm 47 years old. Like, I'm like, getting hit in the face sucks. I don't care whether you win or lose. Number 2, if I get in trouble in this state one more time, you're not going to see me for a while. So it's really, my coolness is really out of necessity, to be honest with you. Default says these people are convinced. This dude says it's the glass skin effect. What? Like, Kat, like, your skin is so flawless. These people think you're actually using. There it is. See, we can see the pore. Wrinkle. There it is. There it is.
Who cares?
You want to know what it is? I'm not trying to be funny, but that's the mentality, Kat. There are some people that just cannot wrap their minds around the fact that an older, attractive woman who's been married to 20 years and likes it and actually likes her husband actually exists. This is why you catch hate, because you, in their mind, is what they think is a unicorn. Okay, very good. Beaten Cheeks says, I love Donovan. Dude belongs on Rumble. He says my beloved F word freely and is hilarious. I don't try to be funny. This is just how I am. BMSL says she has beautiful skin. Absolutely. Yes. Dr. B84 says Kat is low-key strapped. Like, you're a low-key motherfucking, like, you said I was ready. Like, and you said it just so calmly, like, oh, yeah, I was ready to die. Mm-hmm. But it's like you were talking about, it's almost like I asked you, do you like cinnamon bread or regular bread? I like cinnamon bread. Oh, really? Okay, but yeah, I was ready to die. Like you said that so calmly. That was actually kind of scary. Beaten Cheek says, yes, Donovan, I am real, sir. Keep it real, man. You know, damn right. Give me a second. Glenn Lawrence says she grabs her Aladdin swords and went full Arabian Nights trying to kill that motherfucker. Yeah, man. Well, she would only have one because she's only half Arabian. What are your thoughts on so what is your nationality?
Persian.
You're half Cuban and half Persian. Yeah. Now here's the thing, guys. What you guys have to understand is that Persians and Arabs are two different people. If you're from Iraq, you are Arab. If you are from Iran, you are Persian, or in that region. How does talk to me about how does your Persian heritage have anything to do with your mindset now? Or because you clearly sound, you know, whatever American, but you clearly, we can all see that you have Persian in you. Does your Persian heritage have anything to do with the way you think now, or is it just a product of your environment?
I mean, my dad taught me morals, so I would get his morals more than.
There we go. Well, that makes sense. Jose says, she a ride or die. I'm trying to tell you. Glenn says, yo, Don, I told you she's like, she ain't the average broad. Yo, she's a man. I'm trying to, Cat, you have my respect. You are ready. You have my respect. Listen, you didn't. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Was it the best decision for you to go run and bang on that dude's door? Of course not. But that's probably what I would have done. So you have my respect. I don't know if that means much coming from me, but like for real, you're a real one. BMSL says she's a good sport, but I can only listen to her for so long. Okay, well. W stands your ground, damn right. Yeah, Jose says she could have gotten shot too. She don't care. That's why she said she was ready to die. That's what I'm saying. She's like, I'm in Florida. If I bang on this guy's door, there might be a shotgun shell on the other side, but it is what it is. Believe in Yourself says, did I see some freckles? Did I? Do you have freckles?
Maybe like one or two, but they're called age spots.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You could have just called them freckles. You have to call them age spots.
Let's not sugarcoat.
Let's see. Is this Ghost 1978? He says, Kat, did you conveniently forget to tell how your mother-in-law was involved in your engagement? Well, you already explained that, didn't you?
Yeah, she gave us money so that we would get married faster.
There you go. So mother-in-law was in on it too. She's like, wait, you want to marry my kid? Here you go. Here's some bread. Yo, go down to the courthouse, just at the peace. Wow. D. Will says they're used to seeing ugly. Yep. Marriage causes divorce says we give these 1% weirdos too much oxygen. You're probably right, MCD. But they're not 1%ers. These 1% weirdos are growing in number. They're growing in number. Phoenix Light Game says, is this a call in or is that just a notification mistake? No, you can call in 516-387-1987, 516-387-1987. If you have any questions for myself, I don't really care, but if you have questions for Kat, call in, because I think Kat, you are fascinating to me. Like, I had no idea that you had this in you. I had a feeling you might, but you said you were ready to die. I'll be goddamn. Grim Reefer says she's stunning. There we go. Truck and Review says good evening. Okay, so we covered the religion side. You got that from your father. Let me ask you this, because I really want, and again, this is for the ladies. So you guys get married, and the strategy that you use to get married, hey, it is what it is. And let's keep it real. You didn't swindle this guy into marrying you. All you did was you sped up the timetable for something that he was probably thinking about doing in the first place. If a man doesn't want to marry you, he's not going to. That's just all there is to it. And in his mind, it was where he's like, okay, he probably wasn't 100% sure, Kat, but in his mind, he was 100% sure that if he lost you because he didn't marry you, it's probably a decision that he would have regretted for the rest of his life. And he was correct, because you guys have been married. All right, we got some callers on the line. Let us go to area code 562. Area code 562. You're on live with Donovan and Kat. What's your name? Where are you calling from? I'm trying to tell you. Kat, hold on real quick. Kat, can you hear this?
I can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear anything. Oh, no. I got you. No, go ahead. You want to ask her about the what? Oh, he wants to know about the Gen Z Bible.
Oh my God.
So I've never heard of the Gen Z Bible.
Is that Glenn?
Oh, this is fucking Glenn. That is Glenn. Unbelievable. Okay. So what's up with the Glenn? What's up with the Gen Z Bible?
It's just a funny Bible in Gen Z speak.
Okay.
I don't know.
That is absolutely fascinating. Glenn, I heard that you got into an accident. I heard that you got rear-ended after you dropped Pearl off at the airport. What happened? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh. Ooh. Wow. Oh, that sucks. Right, right, right. Oh, good Lord, man. Uh-oh. Looks like we lost Glenn and Blog Talk Radio. You know, Kat, I keep forgetting that when I take phone calls, I'm the only one that can hear it. But the weird thing is that I've got this big fancy Roadcaster. I don't know why the sound doesn't pipe through. And I figured out how to do it like 3 years ago, but all right, it is what it is. I guess you can kill the call-in number scroll thingy. Ken Rose with the $2 super chat says, Kat, do you speak Persian / Farsi? What is that?
It's the language over there. No, I do not.
Oh, okay. Very good. Yeah, because you weren't raised in Iran. You were born and raised here in America. Beaten Chi. Wait a minute. Hold on. Sorry about this, guys. I know this is bad radio. Yes. Beaten Cheek says men can't fight in self-defense anymore here in America. We are a sissified society now where we have to be hospitalized to avoid jail. Such BS. Yeah, you can't and guys, I'm the quintessential example of this in action. Yeah, I was a hothead, and yeah, I probably started fights that were unnecessary. But the way men are nowadays, like half of the asses I've kicked were just men thinking they can talk shit to me and nothing would happen. And they quickly found out that was not the case. I still ended up going to jail. Like, people can just talk to you any old kind of way and disrespect you, but then when you retaliate, but look, man, this you have to mature. You can't fly off the handle and can't fly off the handle and be knocking people's heads off. Give me 2 seconds. I won't keep you for too much longer, Kat. Yes. Marriage causes divorce says she wanted grandkids. Yes, I think mother-in-law definitely wanted grandkids. MAS says Don out here finding gems again. Well, that was a compliment to you, Kat. How about that? All right, very good. Beaten Cheek says Donovan wild for having random call-ins. Man, come on now. Everybody thinks okay. Yep. Yeah, I know. No caller. Okay. Got it. Doom and gloom. Prime Minister says up the mic sensitivity so it can pick up the phone speaker. Yeah. I screwed that all up. I totally forgot that we couldn't, that she couldn't hear. Okay. So Kat, I'll get you out of here on this. There are a lot of women that are in your position, and as we all know, women can be very self-sabotaging. I tell men all the time, women need to be protected from a lot of things. The thing they need to be protected from the most are themselves. So, Kat, talk to my married women out here. Actually, I'm going to have you talk to them both. Let's talk to the women first. Talk to my married women out here who are lucky enough to be in a relationship like yours, but they're finding reasons to maybe have a gray divorce, or I'm not fulfilled, or whatever the case may be. They're buying into the feminist narrative. What would you say to women who are in your position, who are trying their level best to sabotage their way out of their relationship?
You mean women who want to work?
Well, yes, that's exactly right, Kat.
I mean, this is my theory on why people do this. Like, why would you get into a relationship and then resent the other person and then need to get a divorce and do all this stuff in the first place? Is usually because maybe you felt like you settled.
Okay. Let's say they're your age, right? And, late 40s, been married for 20 some odd years. Would you recommend them saying, okay, I settled? So let's say one of your girlfriends is like, Kat, oh my God, I've been married to Chris for 20 something years and I love him to death, but I feel like I've settled. So you and I, we're back on the phone. You failed the first one. Let's see if you can pass this one. So let's have a conversation. Ring, ring, ring. Say hello.
Hello.
Hey, Kat, it's Nancy again. Look, man, me and Chris are having problems again. I feel like I settled, Kat. I know we've been married for 23 years and we have 3 beautiful kids, but I don't know. I feel like I've settled. I feel like there's something better out there for me. What would you do?
Oh, I've done this before. I invite them over. So come over, Nancy.
Oh, you're going to invite me? Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Come over. We're going to watch a show called Fresh and Fit so you can see what's out there in the world.
Who in the wait, hold on, wait a minute. My friends told me about Fresh and Fit. Is that misogynist guy who's going bald with his and there's also a guy, his co-host is so dark you can barely see him. And I heard that he knocked up one of these. Like, is that the show you're talking about?
Yes, you should hear the other point of view, the other side of the aisle. See how guys think about this stuff when they're dating. Okay. If you want to go back out there, you should be informed first.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you think will happen if I get back out there? Because listen, like, men still try to holler at me. Like when I'm out with Chris, I notice younger guys looking at me.
Do you think just because people want to sleep with you that means they'll marry you and take care of you when you're old?
Oh man, I never really thought of it that way. You want to know why? Because I'm a woman and I don't really think about things like that. But that puts things in perspective, actually. Well, what do you feel like you settled with Steve?
No, I got the best I could when I was looking the best. And that's the best you're going to get.
Oh man. Okay. All right. So how do I feel like I've settled, right? And listen, I've talked to Rhonda and listen, Rhonda, she's been divorced twice. We know what a train wreck she is. She's advising me. She thinks I should leave Chris. She thinks I should leave Chris and be on my how Stella got her groove back thing. She thinks I should get out there and start dating again and maybe find my Mr. Right again. I mean, okay. What do you think of that?
Well, Rhonda's been divorced twice, you say. So I have a homeless man a couple blocks away. You want him to give you financial planning advice too?
No, I would not.
Interesting.
I see what you did there, Kat. I see what you did there. So you're telling me that I should not take advice of a home, but Kat, that's different. That's a different scenario. Money is an inanimate object. We're talking about love and feelings and destiny and zodiac signs. Like, I don't know. Like, I see what you're saying, but I don't think the two apply.
Wasn't romantic love just invented recently in human history? Wasn't it always just about alliances and family lineage?
Yeah, Chris has talked about that before. I don't know. I think I'm just bored. How do I stop being bored in my marriage? I mean, all the kids have left, right? Our two daughters are married. They're twins. They're both 19 years old. They married a couple of twins who are both 32 years old. One's a doctor, one's a lawyer. So we did well with that. Our oldest son right now is in Las Vegas playing the field. Hopefully he doesn't catch any STDs. So I've got empty nest over here. I think I'm just bored because the kids are gone. I don't feel like I have a purpose anymore. What should I do?
Have you considered fish?
Like to eat fish?
You know, like a hobby, like something to do, keep
Oh,
you
yeah.
busy,
You
keep
know,
your mind busy.
I have thought about scrapbooking in the past. That's something that tell me about this fresh and fit thing that I'm gonna come over and watch. Like I've heard all kinds of bad things, and I've seen clips on TikTok and YouTube. And this guy, what's his name? Myron Gaines or whatever. Like I heard that he's like he used to be like some double agent or something. Like, what's his story?
Well, he could be a CIA operative, but that doesn't change the fact that this is really how guys talk and this is really how they think. And we should probably know that before we try to date another one.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I think I am gonna come over and watch this fresh and fit. Thank you for your help, Kat.
All right.
There it is. That's what I'm talking about right there. You talked me off the ledge. Get a hobby. That's the deal. Ladies, get a hobby, right? Like, get a hobby and listen to your girlfriends that have been married. Kat, why do you think women always take advice from hoes and not housewives? We say all the time, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Why are women who are looking for answers, why aren't they taking advice from you, but then taking advice from Sexy Red?
My life is boring. I'm
Okay,
not like posting pictures, traveling. I'm not on yachts. I don't have like bottle service or whatever the hell.
all right.
It's kind of boring. It's not Instagrammable.
Huh. Okay. All right. That makes sense. And I've always maintained, and listen, I've made no false assertions that being a housewife is not as exciting as being a hoe. It's just not. And if you can just be real with me, how sad, like how fulfilled must you be? Like seriously, Kat, hang on. Oh, that's that's my Love is Blind. Yep, sorry about that. That was my that did sound like porn music. Anyway, but seriously, like you've made it. Like you have like you're not even 50 yet, and you've made it. You've got a successful marriage, kids out of the house. How gratifying must it be to be you?
It's fine. It is lonely though, because there's not that many people who can relate to it.
Okay.
But I mean, I think that's just like the society we live in. Like everybody, they just want to blame other people for their own happiness.
Okay. No, that makes sense. I think that you will agree with this. And maybe we talked about this last week. It's very difficult for women to be true friends if they're in different stages of life, right? I think that you and Devin would make great friends. You guys are the same age. Now, we haven't been together for 20 years, but you guys are the same age. You have the same values. I mean, you guys really should exchange information because Devin gets a little lonely too. There are not many women out there that can identify with her experience. And so I think the two of you would definitely be fast friends. So I'll give you her number and you guys can exchange information. And who knows? Maybe all three of us can do a podcast sometime. Are you familiar with Elena, the bar fitness girl on?
I've seen her like in your chat.
Oh, okay. She's also someone who is a traditional stay-at-home wife. She's funny. Now she's a high key. You're a low key savage. She's a high key savage. So I think that the two of you would get along. Fastback GT says Donovan gives excellent product show to men of all ages. I wouldn't be giving guys flack in this group unless I respected them. Of course. Yeah, listen, we kid because we care. We get it. Phoenix Light Games, let me make sure that we're getting, there we are. Phoenix Light Games with a $10 super chat says, Kat, I did have a question for you when I called, but I'll ask now. How do you navigate telling women that are in great relationships to avoid or discontinue friendships with toxic single hoe friends? So do you have friends who are married like you who have single friends who are hoes, and how do you navigate those relationships?
Actually, I don't.
Oh.
They tend to instinctively not like happy people. They don't really have much tolerance for people who are just like miserable and whiny and complainy. And
that makes sense.
And at a certain age, when you're single, as a woman especially, like it becomes a lot of that.
Wow. So just as a natural byproduct of you just trying to preserve your own sanity, you naturally gravitate away from those women because you're not trying to hear them bitch about every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's been inside of them.
Yeah, like if I complain about my husband, let's say like I'm having a low point and I actually am stupid enough to complain, if they don't immediately bring me back to like how lucky I am, they're out.
Wow. Did you hear that? Oh my God. See, how did you seriously, how did this happen? Because this is exactly the mindset that women should have. How did this happen with you?
Well, I grew up without that. So
Okay.
most people who grew up without that, they say they want it, but they don't do the lifestyle changes
Okay.
that you
Like
need
what?
to do. Like, for example, you couldn't see it at home, so you had to go elsewhere. So I would ask my friends, parents who are happily married, grandparents, older people,
Absolutely.
older generation. How does this work? How do you handle fights, disagreements? What happens if they do this or they say this? How do you deal with that? Whatever, just asking these questions. And of course, when you're a little kid and you're asking these type of questions, they feel really bad for you.
Of course.
I'm not going to say it's not awkward.
No,
they're just like, why are you asking this? This is sad.
Well, it sounds like you had that example growing up.
Yeah.
And you wanted to make sure that you avoided that. Out of curiosity, how do you and Steve ever get into fights, arguments? How do you handle that?
Like last year we had one fight, but it was like, it's usually like he's tired or I'm hormonal
or both.
Or both. And then like we like yell at each other. And then like 10 minutes later, we're like, oh, sorry. And we just forget about it. It's not like serious stuff.
And it's funny because a lot of women make something out of literally nothing. Like they will pick fights with their husbands for literally nothing. And I know sometimes it can be instinctive for women to do that. Why don't you do that? Because even you're self-aware enough to understand, okay, I'm hormonal right now. That's probably why I'm a little bit on edge. How do you avoid that?
Well, I have really bad hormones. So like I always know like that has nothing to do with other people. That's my problem.
Okay,
don't make it other people's problem. But also like, let's say he leaves something on the floor and it's a big mess and it looks bad. And every chick wants to be like, how dare you? This is disrespectful, whatever.
Right.
Instead of yelling at him, I try to reframe it. Oh, he was in such a hurry. He couldn't do that. Let me do this for him.
There you go.
I mean, it's not that hard.
It's not that serious either. Like, it's just not.
It's not.
Listen, do you know how many times the one thing that Devin has never, ever done, and this is something that no woman has never not done, not one time in our, Jesus Christ, we are going on, not one time in our nearly 8 years of being in a relationship has she ever complained about me leaving the toilet seat up. Not one time. Why is it important for women not to bitch about the small shit?
I mean, because it doesn't matter. And think of all the things that they're not bitching about you.
Let me go full feminist. It doesn't matter. It's disrespectful. He's not being considerate of the fact that I could just slip and fall into the toilet. What's your response to that?
Yeah, you could. And sometimes it happens, but whatever.
Is it the end of the world? Like, did you die?
I don't have to work, so it's not like I'm late for a job, okay? I can clean up.
There you go. There you go. Good for you. Phoenix Light Games with the $10 super chat says the advice that Kat is giving to women is hard. And women don't naturally gravitate to doing what's hard. They do what's easy. Hence, doing sex work instead of learning how to be a wife to a man of value. Wow. And Devin in the chat says exactly, Kat. What it comes down to is it ain't that serious. Dude, I leave cabinets open all the time. And Devin jokingly the only time Devin talks about it is when she's on a live stream with me. She's like, all right, I'll leave the cabinets open. I've got a lot of like really stupid little ancillary habits that men tend to have. She's never made a big deal out of that. It's incredible.
And it's very easy. If you really want to change a guy's behavior, it's very easy to do it. You just don't do it by nagging and yelling.
There you go.
You just make a cute little comment, hug a little kiss. It's like, oh, sweetheart, you couldn't close the cabinet. It's okay. I got that. Your ADHD's acting up.
And you know what? Even a guy like me, I'd be like, okay, message received. And it's funny. Devin she does this. As a matter of fact, yeah, she has done that. She has done that. Actually, wow, she has done that a lot, actually. I had not even realized it. Damn, Devin running girl game on me. Who knew? But
There you go.
And the point is it took that for me to remember it. It wasn't even a blip on the radar for me. I was like, okay, all right, message received. She didn't do it in a disrespectful way. She didn't make a big deal out of it. She knew, she's like, okay, this is a minor ancillary thing. Okay, it gets on my nerves. But guess what? If I do it again, she doesn't get upset. She playfully reminds me again. I'm like, okay, yeah, sorry about that. King Life in the chat says, girl game is crack. I'm trying to tell you. It is, dude. Ladies, learn this girl game. Any last thoughts about Tradcon wives before I let you
thoughts
go?
and prayers?
Oh, Jesus. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard. I get it. It's hard because the economy and blah blah blah
Sure.
and all that stuff, and oh my god, he's gonna beat me and cheat on me, like all the propaganda and stuff like that. But why not learn girl game, like you said? Learn girl game, so that if they do something you don't like, instead of nagging them and yelling and screaming and acting crazy and starting some escalating a fight, you just like snap it immediately.
Okay.
Like, why is it so hard to just learn how to communicate better? Women just hate the fact that like they can't communicate well.
Okay. You think it's the fact that they can't communicate well, or they don't want to? Because communicating effectively is harder than being a nag.
Yeah, it's a lot harder because they want to just yell and scream and get it over with quickly, thinking that aggression is going to do anything positive when everybody knows it doesn't. Right. You can't do that to anyone effectively. Right. You got to go around it the nice and sweet way if you want anything to happen. But like, they don't want to learn that. Everything is like now.
Yeah.
And especially if you've learned from like a single mom that, oh, he's an asshole or whatever, just yell at him, or I don't need no man, or you can't treat me like this. Who do you think you are? If they come with that aggressive energy, there's nothing good. You're not going to get anybody who's good. Any healthy man that you approach with that is going to immediately be repelled if he has any sense. And if he puts up with it, I'm sorry, he's not a man.
Whew, wow, that is very, very good advice. Women love to characterize healthy relationships where it's easy to cheat. We have such a healthy relationship. Translation, he allows me to engage in activities that make me look single. But when they say our relationship is toxic and he's controlling, possessive, translation, when I decide to cheat on him, it will not be easy. So very, very, very good advice. Let's see if there's one more super chat. And just to be clear, it's not, you're not some otherworldly being who never feels these feelings of being irritated by things that your husband does. No, like, you get irritated. You're human. Just like you said, you're hormonal. It is what it is. But you have the self-awareness, and more importantly, the wherewithal and the desire to say, okay, let me just take it down a notch and let me do the right thing. And dude, most women do not have that kind of self-awareness. It's incredibly sorry.
They don't.
It's incredibly, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I met this single mom, and she was yelling at me she was not at me personally, but in a party, like saying that she's trying to date guys and they're all losers and they don't treat her right and blah, blah, blah. And she's like screaming, and like her son is there, and she's talking about how much these men are useless and all men are dogs and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, so I said, you know what's a good podcast you should listen to?
What's that?
And I made her subscribe to Fresh and Fit.
Did she know what it was before?
No, I didn't. They never do. But like,
oh my God, they're gonna be shocked, right? Like, you're gonna traumatize these bitches when you.
Yeah, I'm just like, if you come out like, what is this energy? We didn't have that energy when we were growing up. Like, this is new. This is just like bitterness, like this anger.
This is great. Kat, I'm going to put Devin's number in the private chat. Please please hit her up, because women like yourself, and listen, you're not lying. It can be a very lonely existence when you can't identify and be friends with women who are in this. Now, listen, me and Steven are two very, very different people, right? Like, I'm a little, listen, I'm sure you have challenges with him. Devin's got challenges with me, right? But by and large, I think you guys speak the same language, and I think you guys understand not to sweat the small stuff. So just to connect you two, just so you guys can feel a little less lonely, because I know, because trust me, I know how difficult it is for women to make friends with each other, and when you do make friends with each other, it can sometimes be difficult to sort of navigate if you're at different stages in your life. You guys are the same age or in the same type ish of relationships. So I think the two of you could really offer the two of you some companionship. So I'm glad.
Awesome. And I will.
Absolutely.
Whether she likes it or not.
Oh, there it. Oh boy. All right. Well, Devin, you have a new stalker. I guess go ahead and sign us off here, Kat.
All right, guys. Thank you all for joining us, and follow Donovan Sharpe and me. It's this name, whatever. And hope to see you all next time.
And the next time I might actually have Devin come on, so the two of you can talk, because she doesn't like being on camera that much, but she does like having these conversations. Oh, Devin in the chat. That's awesome. Say it again.
It's important for like happy women to be out there, not just miserable or the fake trads.
Yes.
That really hate their husbands, but they're doing it as like a political angle. We all know. Absolutely.
Dude, look, man. I think you and Allie and Devin, because you guys are all kind of in the same boat. You guys are all in the same. Now, Allie's she's in her 20s. I think she's like 26.
Yeah, she's younger.
But, we're me, your husband, and her husband. We're all about the same age. So I think we are good to go. One last comment says, Beaten Cheeks says, yeah, I'm tired of seeing these single bitches online and fake tradcons. Yeah. I think we're tired of that. Thank you so much for having me, Kat. We will definitely do this soon sometime.
Thank you all.
Peace out, guys. Take care.